Good morning, greetings, friends, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I use nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your health and vitality and well-being and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body, you are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health challenge. That is why we are here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 32 years of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes, hypertension, obesity, skin diseases like acne, psoriasis, rosacea, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds, recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle, but what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human biological system is a healing system, it's a regenerating system, it is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis, and while some folks may call that healing, renewing, regenerating system a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, if you want to wean yourself off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we are here for you on The Bright Side. We welcome your phone calls, 844-236-6010. 844-236-6010 is our number. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products that you hear advertised or recommended on The Bright Side, please go to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. You can also sign up to join the Bright Side Ben team right off our websites, brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. If you want to start a longevity business, if you're an entrepreneur, if you like the entrepreneur lifestyle, if you want to work out of your home, work as few or as many hours as you like, make as little or as much money as you want. You can make $100 a month, you can make $10,000 a month, you can make $100,000 a month. There are folks making $100,000 a month by helping spread the word about the power and importance of a good nutritional supplement program, by helping change lives, literally change lives at the most fundamental level there is, the level of good health. Literally change lives. Ask anybody who starts Beyond Tangy Tangerine who has never been on a supplement program. Many of you out there know exactly what I'm talking about personally. Call 866-735-2470 if you're interested in starting a longevity business, or click on the Join the Team link at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. All right, welcome back to The Bright Side, friends. We last talked about the difference between the two major components of foods, the two major nutritional components or categories, let's say, the two major categories of nutrients. You have micronutrients and macronutrients. This is a very, very important distinction that doesn't get made often enough, in my opinion. So let's make this distinction right now, because it's really critical when it comes to understanding how the body processes food, which is what we've been talking about. So you got macronutrients, and then you got micronutrients. Macro meaning big, micro meaning small. Macronutrients are proteins, fats, and carbs. You've heard people talk about them all the time, proteins, fats, and carbohydrates, although we never really put them in the category of macronutrition. Macronutrition, proteins, fats, and carbs, are energy sources. They're like coal. They're used by the body to create energy. There's other things they do, but that's where we get our energy from. They provide the energy component of food. The micronutrients, the vitamins and the minerals, help the body work with the energy. It's as if the energy were railroad cars, and the micronutrients are rails upon which the railroad cars ride. If you have a bunch of railroad cars, they might be wonderful for sticking stuff in and for well, that's all you could do with them. You could stick stuff in if there's no rails. You can't get the leverage out of the railroad cars unless you have rails, and you can't get the leverage out of the energy in foods, macronutrients in foods, unless you have the rails, the micronutrients, the vitamins and the minerals. That's the problem with food today. It's all railroad car, no rail, no tracks. So it doesn't go anywhere, so the body can't use the energy. Now, I'm exaggerating a little because we do get some micronutrients, but we don't get enough. We don't have enough rails for the railroad cars, but we got lots of railroad cars. We figured out how to build railroad cars like they're going crazy, like they're going out of style about 150 years ago. We figured out how to make food that was super, super dense in energy. Super dense. That's what processed food is. It's food that's got lots of railroad cars, lots of energy, but it doesn't have the rails. A natural food, that is a whole food, I should say, not a natural food, but a whole food, a food that is intact as it was in nature when it was doing its business as a living being, and those are what the best foods are, and that's what all foods are, really. They used to be living beings. A whole food is a food that has not had its living structure manipulated. So a vegetable is still a vegetable, or a seed is still a seed, or whatever it is that you're eating. That's what really a whole food is. It's a food that is as close to its life, its structure as it was when it was alive, when it was doing its business. Processed foods are way removed from when the foods were alive. That's what makes a food processed. And it's when that happens, the tracks and the rails disappear. The railroad cars are still there. They're big. They're huge. They don't go anywhere. But the tracks and the rails disappear. And we're eating foods that are all railroad car, no rails. Body can't use the energy. It stores it. It stashes it. It stashes it in the body's railroad car garages. It's called fat. That's what fat is. Fat is all that energy, all those railroad cars that the body cannot use. So the body puts them in the garage. Our fat butts. That's what the garage is. They call it a caboose. I call it a garage, but maybe it's got cabooses in it. Anyway, the micronutrients, the vitamins and the minerals, and also, by the way, something called phytonutrients. You know, phytonutrients are also very interesting. Flavonoids, you've heard that term. Carotenes, called phytosterols. Phytonutrients, plant nutrients, pigments especially, by the way, reds, blues, greens, steroids. These incredibly powerful plant substances, which are active at the most microscopic levels, are almost like vitamins and minerals. You know, I'm going to go out on a limb and say they are vitamins and minerals, or they are vitamins, but let me take that back. They're like vitamins, phytonutrients. We don't call them vitamins, we don't call them essential, but I bet they are. I'd say they pretty much are. They're certainly helpful. Whether they're essential or not, I don't know for sure. Nobody really knows for sure, but they're certainly important. I would venture to say they're essential, but when vitamins were discovered, we didn't have the technology to really zoom into these phytonutrients. It's only been recently that we've had the technology to really see how important and how valuable these phytonutrients really are. They work at such tiny, tiny levels. So in any case, the phytonutrients, especially the pigments, the vitamins and the minerals, their job is to direct and carry the energy that's found in the macronutrients, the proteins and the fats and the carbs, into chemistry. So when you're making collagen, you need energy from the proteins and fats and carbs, definitely, but you need a way to direct the energy into the collagen-making chemistry, or the skin-making chemistry, or the bone-making chemistry, or whatever chemistry that's happening. You need a way to direct that energy. That's what the vitamins do. That's what the minerals do. They carry the energy into the right chemical reactions. Chemical reactions are obviously fed by chemistry. Remember, chemistry is just tinker toys. Just A getting turned to B, getting turned to C, tinker toy A getting turned to tinker toy B, getting turned to tinker toy C. But for tinker toy A to go to tinker toy B, the way nature has set it up, you need to have activators. And these activators, these activating substances, basically substances that allow the energy to flow correctly, are the vitamins and the minerals and the phytonutrients, the mighty 90 essential nutrients, plus you could throw in the plant nutrients. The mighty 90 essential nutrients should be in the food. This is what Dr. Wallach discovered many years ago. He noticed that he was a farm boy, so he noticed on the farm that animals did better when they had micronutrients. He didn't put it this way, but what he was noticing is that the animals were eating lots of energy, but they weren't getting the micronutrients. Likewise with the people. That's how he discovered supplementation, and he's never really put it that way, but that's exactly what's happening. We get lots of the energy and not the micronutrients, and that's why the micronutrients are so important, and that's why, by the way, you can use the micronutrients, the mighty 90 essential nutrients, the Healthy Start Pack, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, the OsteoFX, and the Ultimate EFAs to lose weight. There's a very interesting mechanism there. We'll talk about it when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll return after this. are back on the bright side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number, 844-236-6010. If you have questions about the longevity products, you can call 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470, or you can head over to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com, and you can purchase longevity products right off the website. You can also sign up to join the Brightside Ben team off the website as well. And we have news stories and blog posts and videos and lots of good information on our websites as well. brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com. And don't forget to check out our Truth Skin Health products at truthtreatments.com, our Truth Biomimetic Mineral Mist made with fulvic minerals and high hyaluronic acid and amino acids. Our Truth Retinol 5% Gel, Truth Retinol 1% Gel, Truth Omega 6 Healing Cream, and our Truth Supplements are all up at truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. All right, so we're talking about the macronutrients versus the micronutrients. Macronutrients are energy. Micronutrients help the body handle the energy. Most of the food we eat today doesn't have the micronutrients to go with the macronutrients. Living food, or food that is as close to its living state as possible, has been non-manipulated or manipulated very minimally, is going to have the appropriate ratio, the appropriate proportion of micronutrients to macronutrients. That's what makes a food whole. It's got the perfect balance. Processed food doesn't have that balance. It's been thrown off, and then they try to manipulate, they try to imitate it. They'll throw in a smattering of nutrients. When they first figured out how to do this really in an industrial way in the 1880s, 1890s with cereals, they started to do it with cereal grain. That was the first thing they really started to. That was the first processed food, was cereals, or the first processed foods in general have always been cereals, but really got going at the turn of the 19th, right around the end of the 19th century. Our ability to manipulate cereal grains, but really the whole food processing thing began with grinding wheat. Some guy figured that if he took a stone and crushed the wheat seed, the wheat grain, they could access the calories, and the race was on. And life has not been the same since, because as soon as we figured out how to process grains, even primitively, let alone with more industrial techniques, and culminating with extrusion machines, which are machines that can turn grains into this kind of pudding mass where the sugars are really instantly released. That's how you make cereal, by the way. You turn the grains into this kind of mash stuff, and then you extrude it through an extruding machine, and then the extruding machine squeezes everything tightly, and then air is pumped into the extruded stuff, and all of a sudden you get a cereal flake or a cereal crisp. And man, did that revolutionize industry. That revolutionized our planet. The ability to extrude grains, to highly processed grains in general, but then to extrude them and fluff them up, that changed everything. Most of us are running on cereal energy, and we grow up on cereal energy. And when I say cereal, I'm talking breakfast cereal. Breakfast, the vast majority of us, first thing in the morning, eat breakfast cereal. Think about that. Probably present company excluded, but around the world, the vast majority of us start our days off with breakfast cereal. And then we other extruded foods throughout the day, of course, but the cereal, the idea of the whole concept of making cereals, not only did it revolutionize the planet from an individual standpoint, but also revolutionize corporate America, the corporate world, because the biggest companies in the world are cereal manufacturers. When they figured out how to sell air, basically, if we knew how much actual grain was in a box of cereal, you'd be shocked. There's more grain, there's more fiber in the box. The actual grain itself in the extruded cereal is very tiny, maybe a couple tablespoonfuls or 4 tablespoonfuls or something of solid material. It's all air. They're selling air, boxed air. Anyway, so you got to take the micronutrients with the macronutrients. The micronutrients help the energy work, and that means that the body doesn't have to store as much of the energy. It can use the energy. This is why people lose weight when they start the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Because all of a sudden now the body can actually use the energy that's being delivered to it. And of course, you're going to feel better because you have more energy. And not just more energy, more usable energy. So when you start a nutritional supplement program like the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, this is the real secret to folks who are in the longevity business, by the way. Because when you start a nutrient dense, a micronutrient dense nutritional supplement program, and you have never been on one, and you're eating lots of high-energy foods, it's mind-blowing. It's amazing. It's revolutionary. It's life-transforming what you will discover. Because all of a sudden, for the first time in your life, for many people, first time in their lives, their body can use the energy that's getting into it. And that is transformative. Not only do you lose weight, but you feel amazing. And the markers of health, the markers of ill health, which are usually related to deficiencies, start to improve. And then you're selling a lot of Beyond Tangy Tangerine. That's exactly how the BTT and a nutritional supplement program work. So macronutrients give you the energy, micronutrients give you the wherewithal to handle all that energy. Carbs are the easiest source of energy, and the body loves carbs. Absolutely loves them, because carbs represent quick energy, and for eons, for many thousands of years, there wasn't a lot of carbs. It was hard to find carbs. So we are the ancestors, or we are the descendants, I should say, of ancestors who survived by being more sensitive to carbs. And through evolution and Darwinian growth and associated with billions of years and millions of years of time, what happened was we got selected for. We are the descendants of ancestors who were very carb sensitive. So we are super duper carb sensitive. We love carbs. Our brain goes yippee from a biochemical standpoint when you go near a carb, when you smell a carb, when you think about a carb, when you just think about it. If you're depressed, you're going to go for carbs because the brain goes yippee every time it thinks about, let alone tastes or enjoys a carb. And I'm not kidding when I say the brain goes yippee. It does it biochemically, of course, with dopamine, with reward chemicals in the reward center of your brain. We have an area of the brain, which we've talked about in the past, called the reward center. The reward center in the brain is why we do everything we do. Everything we like to do, everything everything that we're not compulsed to do, not forced to do, that we like to do, we do because it makes our brain go yippee, biochemically with dopamine. And some things do it more than others. Well, obviously, because food and energy are so important, carbs do it the most. Carbs really, really do it because they represent energy. They're the easiest source of energy. The body loves them. From an evolutionary perspective, it was hard for us to get them. This reward chemistry makes us feel really, really good. When you eat a Snickers bar, it's like you won the lottery. To your brain, same chemistry. Brain doesn't care about the experience or the specifics of the circumstances of the event. It just knows the chemistry, and winning the lottery is the same as eating a Snickers bar. Of course we're going to eat Snickers bars, especially if they're every 20 feet away. If you can't go 20 feet or 20 yards or a couple of blocks or a block without a source of these things. They're everywhere, and they weren't a mere 200 years ago, a mere 150 years ago. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. Got a empty board here, so if you want to get on board, now's the time. 844-236-6010. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back after this. On the bright side, I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll get your calls here in just a couple of minutes. I want to remind you to check out our Truth Skin Health products at truthtreatments.com, and also the longevity products at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com. You can also sign up to join the Brightside Ben team off our websites as well. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number from the University of Wisconsin at Madison. Love this. Study reveals gene expression changes with meditation. With evidence growing that meditation can have beneficial health effects, unbelievable, by the way, that's me editorializing, scientists have sought to understand how these practices physically affect the body. A new study by researchers in Wisconsin, Spain, and France reports the first evidence of specific molecular changes in the body following a period of mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness meditation is when you just pay attention. You just pay attention to something, typically your body. This whole idea of meditation for health is so unbelievably important. It may be even more important than nutrition, really. It's nutrition for the spirit, meditation. It's not complicated. Meditation is not like sitting there going om, sitting cross-legged. It's nothing like that. This mythology about what meditation is really, it doesn't serve us, and it deprives us of a very powerful tool. The stereotyping, the caricature of the meditative state, the meditative process of meditation in general, it really doesn't serve us. We've got to get over this. Athletes meditate. Super Bowl winning athletes meditate. NBA champions meditate. If a professional athlete is doing something, we should all be paying attention, because we're all professional. We're all performing. Just getting out of bed is an athletic event. If an athlete is doing something to improve their performance, we should be paying attention, and athletes meditate. They're not necessarily spiritual, but they understand the power of this process. It changes things at the genetic level. Well, obviously it does, because it changes the mind. Meditation, by the way, is just this vague word, but it really means anything that takes you to a certain brain wave state. Meditation is a mind via the brain phenomena. I'm sure it goes into the spiritual stuff too eventually, but just from the physical perspective, it's a brain-driven phenomena. Meditation is anything that takes you into a brain state. When they do CAT scans on brains of meditators, they find a certain specific area of the brain is always active, highly active. And this is a fascinating part of the brain, and this is so cool. Check this out. The part of the brain that is highly active, most active when you meditate, is located right behind the center of your forehead. So if you take your finger, touch the center of your forehead, which, by the way, your third eye would be. That's very interesting right there. If you touch your third eye and pretend that it's going right through to the center of your brain, you will touch an area of your brain called your anterior cingulate cortex, the ACC. This ACC is like a collar that connects two areas of the brain. It connects the front part of your brain, where your prefrontal cortex is, where your smart brain is, where your intelligent brain is, where your conscious brain is, where they call it the executive center. That's what makes us human, is this front area, which is huge in humans. And this anterior cingulate cortex connects that area to the emotions, the limbic system. The limbic system is your emotional brain. It's where you get angry. It's where you get sad. It's where you get happy. It's where you get joyful. It's where you have all your emotions. So in the limbic system, when you meditate, you have a better connection between your limbic system, your emotions, and your brain. Why is this important? Because our lives are driven by our emotions, but in a subconscious way. Everything we do is for our emotions, but in a subconscious way. We're not aware. We're not aware of our behaviors, of what's driving our behaviors. That's why you can't quit smoking. That's why affirmations don't work. That's why we're still broke, even if we intend not to be broke. It's because we're being driven unconsciously from the limbic system. The limbic system is a vestige. It was developed largely when we were 0 to 7 years old, when we were infants. The limbic system was programmed by people who we would never voluntarily allow us to program. But we did, because we were babies. And so this limbic system area of the brain drives our behavior. We're unconscious of it. It's the unconscious, the subconscious, whatever you want to call it. It's the unknown. And through meditation, you strengthen the link between your awareness center, your consciousness center, and this unconsciousness center. You become aware of your behaviors. You become aware of your emotions. This is why the anterior cingulate cortex changes when you meditate. This is why the genes change when you meditate. Everything changes when you meditate. So meditation is the real deal. How do you do it? It's really simple. It's so simple, it's ridiculous. Just focus on something. Just focus on your breath. You'll notice it's a lot easier said than done, by the way. Just focus on your breath. Focus on your thoughts. Watch your thoughts. Instead of thinking thoughts and letting your thoughts go, just kind of like turn your attention and notice, wait a minute, what is this thinking? I'm thinking now. What is this exactly? Or just do your breath, or do a heartbeat, or do a metronome. Just listen to it. Just pay attention to it, and you will find your brain going into a meditative state. You will be activating that anterior cingulate cortex, and over the course of time, you'll start to become more and more aware of what's driving you, of why you're doing what you're doing. The Delphic Oracle in ancient Greece, man, know thyself. That's the most important thing to understand. Know thyself. What makes us tick? Why we do what I do. All right. Let me do one more and we'll get your calls. 844-236-6010. Daily aspirin for healthy pensioners may do more harm than good, a new study finds. Well, I've been saying this for years. This whole idea of taking aspirin as a blood thinner, as if aspirin were just candy and it wouldn't hurt you just to take a drug. Of course it's going to present problems. Maybe, it's mild. But still, aspirin thins the blood, causes gastric bleeding. Why would you mess around with aspirin? It's a drug. Take natural aspirin. What's natural aspirin? Essential fatty acids, vitamin E, glucosamine. These are all wonderful blood thinners. Algae, polysaccharides. All of these are wonderful blood thinners. Personally, omega-3 essential fatty acids, in my opinion, are just as effective at thinning the blood as a daily aspirin with no toxicity. Whenever you take your omega-3s, take your omega-6s. That's why you want to take a EFA supplement that's well-rounded, not just fish oil, not just omega-3s. Take a look at our ultimate EFAs at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. Ultimate essential fatty acids made with omega-3s and omega-6s. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number, and we do have lines open for you. Let's see what Cliff has to say. Cliff in Ontario, what's up, buddy? You always have something good to say. Good morning.
Hey, well, what I'm doing now is like I'd be doing the 8-hour eating and that 16-hour fasting, like about 5 days a week, and that's working for me.
Say that one more time. 18-hour fasting, did you say?
No, 16-hour fasting,
yeah.
8 hours eating.
Gotcha.
5 times a week.
I love it. What, do you stop eating at like 4 o'clock or something? How does that work? 4 to 12?
Because I work in the evening, so I stop eating around 6:30.
Yeah.
And then I start eating 16 hours later.
Very good. If you don't mind me asking, what do you do? What's your job?
I'm in security.
You're a security guy?
Yeah, I work in a hospital.
Okay, hey, listen, Cliff, I got to take a break, but we have a bad connection, so I either call back or go to a better place where we can talk, because I'm having a hard time hearing you. We'll take a break and we'll come back, okay? Don't go away, Cliff. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. Got lines open. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll return right after this. We're back on The Bright Side, 844-236-6010. Let's see if we get a better connection there with my man, Cliffy. Cliff, you there?
Hey,
that's
this
much
better?
Yeah, much better. Go ahead.
Yeah, I also want to talk about BTT, too, because I want to implement it into my life. And I've used it before. My girlfriend used it, and the only thing that I had problems with it at that time is that I have a tendency to be too hyper, because of my condition. And the B vitamins, I wasn't sure might have hyped me up a bit too much.
No,
so
I've heard people
get the right dose.
I've heard people say that, but no, that's not how it works. Vitamins don't work that way. Let me tell you what happens.
I don't know, but all I know, I'm not.
Let me just explain that, Cliff.
What I want to do is I'm going to retry it.
No, listen. Let me explain. Cliff,
okay.
You're a smart guy. Let me explain the mechanism, because people say that a lot. I hear that all the time. Yeah. All right. So what happens is the B vitamins are remember I was talking about the rails and the tracks, and as opposed to the railroad. All right. So just for people who aren't listening, the body, there's two types of things we get from food. We get the pure energy, which is like coal or trees that has energy in it, and then we get magical pixie dust that helps the body use the energy. I call them railroad cars and rails. The magical pixie dust that helps the body use the energy are the vitamins. For example, the B vitamins, which are actually the quintessential rails. They're super involved in how the body makes energy. So if you're already anxious, or you already have anxiety issues, or you're already jittery, or you're thinking too much, or you have stuff percolating, it's going to drive those behaviors. Are you with me?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay? So it's not that because I hear it all the time. That's not how vitamins work. They're not drugs. They're not speed. If you don't need to be energized, your body's not going to take the vitamins. This is a silly doctor way of looking at nutrients. They're not drugs. And vitamin K won't throw off your blood clotting or your blood thinning, and it doesn't work that way. And vitamin E doesn't make your blood thin too much. Your body uses vitamins for what it needs to have done. If your body thinks you need to be anxious, you're going to be anxious. You follow me? The problem isn't the B vitamins. It's the underlying condition, the anxiety.
Yeah, I know. I started going into therapy.
Yeah.
Like talk therapy, and this is
Good.
like the issue actually is anxiety because of the way I think. It's like,
there you go. It's
Yeah.
driving that behavior. So I'm not just talking to Cliff here. I'm talking to everybody listening who thinks the Beyond Tangy Tangerine makes them jittery. It's not that it makes you jittery. It's not how vitamins work. It's not how nutrients work. What it's doing, it's driving jittery thinking or a jittery way of being. It's driving that because your body thinks you want to be jittery because your brain's saying, hey, there's an emergency because we all live our lives this way. All right, does that make sense?
But my blood work I used it for a long time. My blood work was really, really good.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's blood work was really, really good. I think they were surprised. Like the doctor used the word for me was pristine.
Oh, it's excellent.
Yeah.
So listen,
the only thing what I want to find out too is this pretty well sufficient? Like does BTT have pretty well everything you needed it, or
absolutely not?
What am I missing?
It's the minimum wage. Minimum wage. It's the basics. All the mighty 90 essential nutrients.
What I get. Yeah.
Yeah, you want more than the basics. You deserve more than the basics. But here's the thing, Cliff. Try the BTT with your girlfriend and just practice calming, relaxing behaviors, even meditation. I don't know if you're meditating, but get a meditation tape.
Well, what I do is I pray.
Pray's good.
Tim Tebow?
Yeah?
You know Tim Tebow. You were talking about athletes, the famous football player?
Yeah, of course.
Well, what he does is he prays.
Hey, pray without ceasing. Paul says pray without ceasing.
Exactly it. But what I also started doing is fasting. But I'm telling you, this stuff is good.
Fasting, right?
But when you do the one where also I went into now 4 or 5 times a week. I eat for 8 hours and I fast 16. And this is a big deal, though. It's like a big deal.
Hey, listen, Cliff, I got to go, but listen, I got to tell you one thing. I'm going to be in Toronto in November. Are you near Toronto?
Yeah, I'm close enough. What day?
Come to the Health Expo. It's the second weekend in November, and I'm doing a couple talks. I'd love to meet you.
I guess I look it up online.
Yeah, Toronto. It's called the Whole Life Expo, I believe, but it's in the Toronto Convention Center.
Toronto.
Yeah, anybody in Canada who's listening, by the way, I'd love to meet you. But yeah, come by. I'd love to see you, Cliff.
Yeah, I'd like to see you too, man.
All right, good deal. Talk to you later, man. Thank you.
Bye.
All right, let's go to Larry in Indiana. Good morning. Welcome to the Bright Side, Larry.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, sir. What's up?
Yeah, years ago I took a calcium test, MRI or CT scan.
Okay.
And my plaque was really high. So
your plaque was really high, did you say?
Yeah, plaque in my arteries.
Gotcha.
So I haven't retested since then, but over the past couple of years, I've been desperately trying to get the plaque out of my arteries. So
why? Well, ask yourself this: why is the plaque there? Is it an accident?
No, it was because of decades of bad, eating,
Not necessarily. That contributed, I'm sure, because, the blood gets thick and sludgy, but that's not the core problem. The core problem is deteriorating of vasculature. But yeah, that probably doesn't help either. Here's what you need to do. Do you know what chelation therapy is?
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you about that. I'm very familiar with it, but there's nowhere around here that does IV chelation. So what
Where
I did,
are you?
I purchased some calcium disodium EDTA.
Yeah, it's okay, but I'd go IV. Where are you? Where do you live?
I'm in Indiana. There's, it's no place close here where I live, in the city I live that does that.
You could do oral chelation, oral EDTA. Vitamin C is a great chelator. Selenium is a sulfur, MSM, NAC. There's lots of nutrients that will chelate. You can do lots of chelating nutrients. I personally would be going IV, but yeah, chelation is one strategy. Also, you want to start building the arteries up. You probably have other things going on. If you have any kind of bone problems or skin problems or ruptures or hernias or disc problems, that kind of thing, that's a sign that the tissue's breaking down. That's all. You got to build the tissue back up. Bone broth protein, vitamin C, exercise, essential fatty acids, your mighty 90 essential nutrients, zinc, all the minerals. I'd be focusing on building connective tissue. That would be the goal. In addition to the chelation. All right?
Right. But do you see any downside to this
No,
oral
none.
calcium?
None. No downside. No downside.
Okay, I do take it on an empty stomach 2 hours
Yeah,
away
you don't
from
want to
food.
chelate your nutrients. That's a good point. You don't want
Right.
to chelate your nutrients. But take it on an empty stomach, you should be fine. There's no downside. Okay, thanks, Larry. Appreciate it, man. Have a good day. All right, Dorian, you get the last word in Virginia. What is up, man? How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing great, Ben. I just wanted to find out about using butter maybe for treating
butter's
low
great.
blood sugars. Is that a good idea?
Using butter for what?
Low blood sugar, would that be a good idea?
Butter for low blood sugar. You mean for energy, kind of, is what you're thinking?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I don't know if you could eat enough butter. I mean, it's kind of heavy. You'd have to eat a lot of butter. But butter's great. Not only is butter a great source of fat, it's a great source of a special kind of fat called short-chain fatty acids, which we've talked about. I'm sure you've heard me talk about. Especially butyric acid, which is phenomenally important for a lot of things. Butyric acid is one of the most important things you could take for large intestinal health. Butyric acid is very important as an appetite suppressant. Butyric acid has pain relieving and anti-anxiety properties. It's just wonderful. Energizing properties. It's ketogenic. There's lots of great things about butyric acid. That's where we get the name butter. But butter is more than that, more than butyric acid and fat. Butter is iodine. Butter is selenium. Butter is protein. Butter's got a lot of good things. There's a little bit of protein, not a lot of protein in there. But butter's got a lot of stuff in it. Actually, I don't even know if there's much protein. I should look that up. But in any case, butter is just a really valuable food. And best of all, it tastes great, especially with salt and especially on veggies. Salt and veggies and butter are one of the most delicious combinations, food combinations you could ever enjoy. Hopefully nobody's eating the fake butter. And by the way, just because you're fake butter, now they got this fake butter that says no trans fats on it, that's still poison food. It has a whole different kind of distorted fake fat that's not a trans fat. So stick with butter, no margarine. Be very suspicious and skeptical of any healthcare professional. They don't do it anymore. Mostly they don't do it anymore. But they still do a little bit, who tells you not to eat butter and to eat margarine instead. Because butter is just a phenomenal health food, and margarine most certainly is not. All right? Thank you, Dorian. Appreciate it. Anything else?
I wanted to find out also, would it be possible to put it topically, if anything? Say if you're unconscious?
Yeah, butter's great. Butter's fine topically. Well, I don't know if it'll really do too much, but yeah, there's some iodine in there. You may get benefits from that and selenium. All right, gotta go. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Butter's also got vitamin K in it too, now that I think about it. Thanks, Dorian. All right, that's all the time we have for today on The Bright Side. Thanks for listening. Our websites are brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com. Love to have you on the Bright Side Ben team. You can call 866-735-2470 for more information. All for a one-time $25 fee. You can be in business for yourself and enjoy all the benefits of having your longevity products drop shipped to your door every month. Thanks for listening to The Bright Side. Have a wonderful, beautiful, awesome, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.